On our wedding night, I saw the comments. Poor supporting female lead, still unaware the male lead's original wife is alive. What happens when the male lead uses her influence to climb the ranks, only for the fake dead female lead to return? No way around it, she's the original wife. Family law dictates, a wife is a wife, a concubine is a concubine. Even if the supporting female lead is a princess, she can't be an exception. I snorted derisively. Absolute nonsense. I am the sole princess of the Li dynasty, the cherished jewel of my imperial parents' hearts. Dare to demote me from wife to concubine? I'd say Luo Lin and his entire clan have lived long enough. Only upon seeing these comments did I awaken to the reality of my world, a sweet romance novel script. The male lead is my imperial consort, Luo Lin. The female lead is Lin Xiaoxiao, the so-called savior of my mother-in-law, now residing in our manor. And I? Merely a background prop and stepping stone for the female supporting character. In the story, they were originally a marriage arranged by parents and matchmakers, love blossoming after the wedding. But due to a misunderstanding, Lin Xiaoxiao feigned death in a fit of pique, breaking Luo Lin's heart. Knowing she was still alive, Luo Lin, after passing the imperial examinations in the capital, requested the emperor to grant him a marriage to a princess. His aim was to make Lin Xiaoxiao jealous. Sure enough, on the eve of the wedding, Lin Xiaoxiao came looking for him. They secretly reconciled. As for me, Luo Lin claimed the emperor's decree was binding and that breaking off the engagement was impossible. He would marry her first, then find an opportune moment to reveal Lin Xiaoxiao's true identity. He reasoned that though I was a princess, Lin Xiaoxiao would be the primary wife by virtue of being married first, inevitably overshadowing me. Besides, he promised to lavish me with fine food and drink for the rest of my life. Even as a secondary wife, I would be immeasurably more honored than any commoner's concubine, a position of utmost dignity. The absurdity lies in the storybook's plot. I fall in love with Luo Lin, accept this fate for love's sake, and after being demoted from wife to concubine, languish unloved in a side courtyard until I die of depression within 2 years. Meanwhile, Luo Lin and Lin Xiaoxiao enjoy a perfect ending, with Luo Lin's career flourishing. After piecing together the plot, I find it utterly preposterous. I was born of royal blood, second only to the emperor himself. If I asked for the stars, my parents would give me the moon. Why on earth would I need the so-called dignity of being Luo Lin's concubine? Luo Lin must be tired of living. I pulled back my veil, narrowed my eyes, and leaned back on the small couch. The comments kept scrolling before my eyes. Luo Lin is utterly depraved, drugging the princess on their wedding night and sending a servant to consummate the marriage for him. Disgusting. Show the princess some mercy. She's royalty, yet she must endure such humiliation. Upper floor, please stop watching. In a sweet romance, both leads must be pure. What if no substitute could be found? Reading these words sent a chill deeper into my heart. How dare he find someone to defile me? It seems not just Luo Lin has grown tired of living, but his entire Luo clan, 9 generations back, has grown tired of living. Just then, the bridal chamber door swung open. Luo Lin, clad in a crimson wedding robe, stood before me, his tall, slender figure radiating the grace of a moonlit breeze. I noticed an unusual flush on his lips and snorted coldly, immediately confronting him. On our wedding night, the prince consort arrives half an hour late? How utterly audacious. From the comments, I learned Luo Lin had secretly visited Lin Xiaoxiao, where they had a proper tryst before coming to me. Since the imperial decree of marriage was issued, I had never spoken to him with such harshness. Luo Lin seemed startled by my tone. His expression faltered before he bowed deeply. I drank a few extra cups at the banquet. I stepped outside to sober up, lest I offend the princess. I picked at my fingernail, sizing him up deliberately before saying, "The wedding wine has been drunk. Settle down." A flicker of unease crossed Luo Lin's face before he dutifully poured wine and personally brought it to me. "Your Highness, please." He pretended to gaze at me with lingering affection, his eyes holding a strange, unspoken expectation. A wave of disgust washed over me, and I lowered my eyes to the wine jar in my hand. Having grown up in the palace, even with my parents' favor, I'd seen plenty of dirty tricks. I instantly knew something was off with this wine. I'd been a bit uncertain about those strange stories and comments. But now, looking at the drugged wine, I was utterly certain the comments were true. I let out a cold laugh and slammed the wine flask hard onto the floor. Shattered shards flew, cutting Luo Lin's hand as wine spilled everywhere. I commanded, "Guards! Arrest this audacious villain who dared to poison the princess." As the most favored princess of my father and mother, the emperor had granted me 500 personal guards upon my marriage. Now, they would finally serve their purpose. The turn of events was too sudden. A flicker of disbelief and panic crossed Luo Lin's eyes. Then, seeing the room filled with his personal guards clad in armor, he shouted, "Princess! What is this? Is there some misunderstanding? I am, after all, the top scholar personally selected by His Majesty the Emperor. How dare you insult me like this?" I stared coldly at Luo Lin, merely ordering someone to fetch silver needles to test the wine on the floor. The next moment, the needles turned black. I sneered, "Luo Lin, what more can you say? Seize him!" The needle turning black was, of course, my doing. With my exalted status, I wouldn't stoop to letting a servant enter my chambers to catch him red-handed, disgusting and troublesome. What crime could be more swift and decisive than plotting against the princess? No sooner had I spoken than my guards seized Luo Lin. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't break free. Seeing I meant business, Luo Lin began to panic, shouting loudly that he was innocent. Utterly annoying. I tapped my ear, and my personal maid understood immediately, stepping forward to deliver 2 sharp slaps across Luo Lin's face. Then she stuffed a rag into his mouth. Anger flickered across Luo Lin's previously terrified face. I ordered him tossed into the courtyard, then strode slowly toward him. Smiling, I patted his cheek and whispered like a demon in his ear, "Do you know what fate awaits those who plot against a princess?" Muffled by the cloth, or perhaps too stunned to respond, Luo Lin could only utter muffled whimpers. I chuckled softly, offering a magnanimous warning, "At best, your entire family will be executed. At worst, 9 generations will be implicated. But I'm not in the mood for that now. I need some entertainment first. Guards! Pin him down and beat him until this princess is satisfied." The maids were quite attentive, bringing a large armchair out onto the veranda and thoughtfully patting it with cushions. Leaning back in the chair, I watched the comments explode. "Frog fun, this isn't the plot I imagined, but who cares, this princess is awesome. So satisfying. I always thought this book's setup was ridiculous. How could a high-end mighty princess be such a pushover? The female supporting character is so annoying. What's she messing around for? Her character is completely broken now. How's the plot supposed to move forward? How will the plot unfold? Naturally, it will unfold according to my whims. This princess shall now demonstrate what true royal authority looks like." Luo Lin was pinned to the bench, emitting pig-like squeals. Simultaneously, my men apprehended a sneaky little servant outside the room. Before I could order torture, he meekly confessed everything. I sipped my tea while listening, until he admitted Luo Lin ordered him to consummate our marriage. My attendant immediately delivered a vicious slap. My maids all know martial arts, that blow carried full force. The servant's teeth flew out instantly. I made no move to stop her. In the storybook, this servant had indeed committed the act. Even if instigated by Luo Lin, he was still guilty. I had him bound, gagged, and made to kneel beside Luo Lin. Luo Lin's lower body was already beaten to a bloody pulp. Blood splattered up onto his face, and the servant immediately wet himself in terror. I snorted derisively. Just then, a voice echoed from outside the courtyard, "My linger." Lin Zhaozhao entered, supporting Luo Ling's mother, Lady Luo Qin, my so-called mother-in-law. Lady Luo Qin's brows furrowed deeply. Upon fully taking in the scene within the courtyard, her anger flared to boiling point. She rebuked me, "Princess Zhao Yang. Even if you hold the exalted rank of princess, once married, you follow your husband. Liner is your husband. Even if he committed the gravest of offenses, how could you publicly inflict such severe punishment upon him?" She leaned on her dragon-headed walking stick, her head adorned with a headband, clad in a dark brocade robe. She truly embodied the dignified and venerable demeanor of a woman of high moral standing. Lin Zhaozhao's eyes brimmed with heartache and urgency. She yearned to approach but, mindful of her current status, could only watch with tears welling as Lin Lin lay barely conscious on the bench. I leaned back slightly, and a thoughtful maid gently massaged my shoulders. Before I could speak, comments flooded the screen. This old hag is unbearable, acting superior just because of her age and using her noble title to intimidate the princess. She helped Lin Zhaozhao and Luo Lin deceive the female lead. What good can she be? Ugh, old crone. Princess, you must stand your ground. We're all behind you. Who wants to watch these brain-dead leads anyway? They've hit rock bottom. I took in every word of the comments, adjusting the hairpin at my temple. Casually, I ordered, Jinyu, slap this princess. Before Lady Luo could react, Jinyu delivered 2 sharp slaps that sent her tumbling to the floor. Furious, she flung herself backward. This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Zhao Yang, how dare you strike your mother-in-law? This is an act of presumption and disrespect. Lin Zhaozhao, standing nearby, was also terrified. Immediately, she declared indignantly, Your Highness, Lady Luo is a first-rank noble consort and your mother-in-law. How could you commit such an act of disrespect? I let out a cold laugh and turned my gaze toward Jinyu. She understood my intent and knocked Lin Zhaozhao to the ground. The Luo family's prestige comes entirely from the imperial grace. As a princess of noble blood, every reward or punishment bestowed upon you is an act of favor. The princess is your sovereign, and you are her subjects. To dare accuse the princess of treason and disrespect, it seems you've grown bold enough to eat the hearts of bears and leopards. I was thoroughly satisfied with the scene before me. I intended to punch Luo Lin and kick Luo Qin and Lin Zhaozhao. I am the princess. Swallowing my anger is not a life I should endure. Luo Qin and Lin Zhaozhao, both on the ground, clutched their faces, glaring at me with uncontrollable fury. Tears welled in Lin Zhaozhao's eyes. Her face twisted with grievance as she looked at me, then at Luo Qin. Lady Luo Qin gritted her teeth, scrambling to her feet. She slammed her dragon-headed walking stick down, making a thudding sound, and after uttering 3 goods, she continued, Since ancient times, has there ever been a precedent of a daughter-in-law assaulting her mother-in-law? Zhao Yang, do you not fear me reporting this to His Majesty and Her Majesty the Empress? Lin Zhaozhao rose, clutching Lady Luo's arm timidly. I couldn't help but laugh. Seeing my utter disregard for her fury, the flustered Lady Luo grew even angrier. What are you laughing at? I replied, No one has ever dared speak to this princess in such a manner. You showed disrespect, so I struck you. Today, I won't just beat you, I'll kill him too. Luo Lin plotted against the princess. By law, his entire clan should be executed. Taking only his life is the height of mercy. I said it casually, as if discussing the fine weather. Let Lady Luo Qin go ahead and report me. Father and mother both know my nature. With Luo Lin having wronged me first, if they learn of this injustice, they'd likely demand he be torn limb from limb or dismembered 1,000 times over. To this day, I still don't understand how I could have been portrayed as such a weakling in those storybooks, with father and mother, who always cherished me, standing idly by. That is utterly impossible. Lady Luo Qin's chest heaved with fury as she pointed at me. How dare you? Liner is the Emperor's personally selected top scholar. How dare you arbitrarily strike down an imperial official? Lin Zhaozhao also glared at me indignantly, her small face streaked with tears. Exactly. Even if you are a princess, you cannot escape blame. I scoffed. Even if Luo Lin were the current top scholar, a man of governance, even if he came from a noble family with generations of officials, my father would still kill him without hesitation. Imperial dignity cannot be challenged. A mere top scholar? Kill him and be done with it. The Li dynasty spans vast lands, what kind of talent can't we find? Why should Luo Lin be so precious? I curved my lips indifferently, ordering the blackened silver needle and wine cup to be brought forth, then had the servant dragged back up. Both witness and evidence are present. If you have anything to say, have Luo Lin tell it to the king of hell down below. I waved my hand. Guards drew their swords, poised to behead the unconscious Luo Lin. Lady Luo fainted in terror. Even Lin Zhaozhao threw herself forward, screaming, Don't. At the critical moment, a flood of comments rolled in. Though satisfying and cathartic, the author has engineered a plague to legitimize Luo Lin's claim to make Lin Xiaoxiao his official consort. Only Lin Xiaoxiao's 7-year-old son possesses the cure. Exactly. If Luo Lin dies now, how will the plague storyline unfold? Too many variables. Suggestion: imprison Luo Lin first, then improvise later. My brow furrowed. As the soldier raised his blade, I commanded, "Hold." I narrowed my eyes, observing the scene before me. Only then did Lin Xiaoxiao realize how uncharacteristic her actions had been. Feeling somewhat guilty, she rose from Luo Lin's side. I couldn't be bothered to hear her explanations. I ordered the group escorted to the side courtyard and locked up, with guards stationed to watch them. If it truly was as the comments suggested, this matter was no trivial affair. I would have to wait until tomorrow to meet with my father, the emperor, and discuss it in detail. Exhausted after a long day and the late-night commotion, I fell into a deep sleep. Early the next morning, I donned my princess court attire and full ceremonial makeup to attend the imperial court. Yes, that's right. After my coming-of-age ceremony, Father Emperor granted me the privilege of attending court. While I couldn't intervene in major matters, I could still voice my opinions on minor, non-critical state affairs. Unexpectedly, as soon as my father arrived, someone presented a memorial accusing me, "Your Majesty, this servant must report, Princess Zhaoyang disregards imperial law and filial duty, abusing private punishment to assault an imperial official and her mother-in-law." I chuckled upon hearing this and turned to look. Which blind fool, tired of living, dares to accuse this princess? It was Minister Wang, Luo Lin's mentor. Suddenly, I recalled reading in a storybook that Minister Wang was Luo Lin's benefactor. Not only did he take Luo Lin as his disciple and nurture him diligently, but when Luo Lin later demoted me from wife to concubine, enraging my father and mother, Minister Wang interceded on Luo Lin's behalf, greatly aiding him. Moreover, he adopted Lin Xiaoxiao as his adopted daughter, granting her a noble lineage that secured her position as Luo Lin's legitimate wife. At this thought, my opinion of Minister Wang plummeted. I snorted derisively through my nostrils and remarked, "Minister Wang certainly has his fingers in every pie. Seems he's been busy networking with the other ministers behind the scenes." My father detested factionalism and self-serving cliques, so I promptly pinned this grave accusation on Minister Wang. Hearing this, Minister Wang immediately puffed out his cheeks and glared, "This old servant has always been as clean as a whistle, loyal to his majesty." "Princess, one must speak with evidence. How dare you slander this old servant?" I sneered coldly, "You know about evidence? Luo Lin attempted to murder this princess on his wedding night, proof is ironclad. I merely administered a slight punishment. Yet Minister Wang, having heard rumors from who knows where, dares to accuse this princess. Does Minister Wang have evidence?" At this point, my voice rose sharply as I demanded, "Or is it that the Li dynasty is now under your rule, Minister Wang? Do you believe Luo Lin's attempt on the princess's life was without fault, that I deserved to suffer harm to my imperial body?" Minister Wang was rendered speechless by my words, staring at me as if the word "you" had lodged in his throat. The hall fell silent. Officials kept their eyes downcast, none daring to be the first to speak. Only my father on the dragon throne asked, "Zhaoyang, what exactly happened?" I shot a glance at Minister Wang, then recounted the events in detail, presenting the evidence. After examining the proof, my father's brows knitted tightly. But before he could speak, Minister Wang knelt with a thud and blurted out, "Your Majesty, there must be hidden circumstances and misunderstandings. Luo Lin is of upright character. He fell deeply in love with the princess at first sight, showing profound devotion and loyalty. How could he possibly plot against her?" I narrowed my eyes at Minister Wang, but before I could respond, my father's voice, commanding without anger, cut through the air, "How dare you? Minister Wang, are you suggesting that my consort, Zhaoyang, went to such lengths merely to frame a lowly Luo Lin? Absurd. I know you've never favored Zhaoyang, but with irrefutable evidence before us, do you still intend to defend Luo Lin?" However bold Minister Wang might be, he dared not provoke the Son of Heaven's wrath. His face drained of color, he immediately knelt and bowed his head. This humble servant acknowledges his error. The emperor snorted coldly. "You are indeed at fault. Once a teacher, always a father. Luo Lin's misconduct may well stem from your inadequate guidance. Therefore, after court adjourns, Minister Wang shall kneel beneath the noon gate for 2 hours to reflect deeply. Minister Wang broke out in a cold sweat, yet he still had to express his gratitude for the emperor's kindness. The sun beat down fiercest at the noon gate, and the blue stone slabs paving that road were incredibly hard. Kneeling for 2 hours would not only humiliate Minister Wang, but his body would struggle to endure it. But he had only himself to blame. The comments kept scrolling, only this emperor delivers. This is how a princess should be treated. What nonsense was written in the original book? The setup was utterly unrealistic. That old geezer Wang Xiangshu finally got what he deserved. In the original story, he never stopped aiding the wicked, helping Lin Zhaozhao humiliate the princess. Only in that kind of trashy novel would kneeling at the noon gate for 2 hours make the old man behave. Standing at the very front, I glanced sideways at the hunched figure of Minister Wang, a sneer curling my lips. The nonsense from those storybooks, about Father Emperor and Mother Empress aiding outsiders and bullying me, or standing by idly while I was mistreated, would never happen. A princess is a princess. Heaven's authority must not be violated. After court adjourned, I headed toward the inner palace. Passing the noon gate, Minister Wang still knelt on the stone pavement, his face turning pale. Looking down on him, I teased, "Minister Wang, if your old bones truly can't endure this, I could speak to Father and have your punishment lifted." Minister Wang knelt straight as an arrow, his expression resolute as he stared ahead. "No need for your Highness's concern." I gave a disdainful smile, took Jin Yu's arm, and strolled toward my mother's palace. Along the way, I joked with Jin Yu, "They say a strict teacher produces outstanding students." Last night, Luo Lin nearly got beaten to death yet still insisted on kneeling. Seeing Minister Wang today, I finally understand. "Look at that, that's what you call legacy." Jin Yu covered her mouth and giggled. The barrage of comments flooded in, and I knew without turning how grim Minister Wang's expression must be. I gave a cold snort and quickened my pace. By the time I reached the Phoenix Grace Palace, Father and Mother had already ordered breakfast to be served, awaiting my arrival. Mother seized my hand the moment she saw me. "Your father told me everything." "What happened?" "Let me see, are you hurt?" "Luo Lin dares to act so brazenly. If anything happened to you, I'd make him pay dearly." Her eyes brimmed with worry, her words laced with concern for me and disgust for Luo Lin. Recalling the tales from storybooks and now facing this genuine concern, warmth flooded my heart and my eyes stung. Yet I smiled reassuringly at Mother. "Don't you know my temper, Mother? I'd never let myself suffer injustice." Mother gave a playful scold, tickling my nose. Father joined in teasing me, saying I was spoiled and terribly willful. I played the spoiled child, and the chamber was filled with cheerful laughter. Only after we'd finished our playful banter did Father finally speak up, asking what exactly had happened. He knew me well. If it had been a simple case of plotting against a princess, I would have had Luo Lin executed by slow torture last night. There was no need to wait until today and make things so complicated. I recounted the entire story, though I changed the details about the bullet comments, saying I had accidentally uncovered Luo Lin and Lin Zhaozhao's scheme. After 2 hours of deliberation, we decided Father would first send men to search for Lin Xiaoxiao and Luo Lin's child, dispatch investigators to the plague-stricken outskirts of the capital, and reinforce defenses against saboteurs. I would spare Luo Lin, Lin Xiaoxiao, and Lady Luo Qin for now, awaiting further intelligence before making final judgments. This was the wisest course. The safety of the people was at stake, we could not afford complacency or wishful thinking. Better to err on the side of caution than to dismiss the possibility. I dined at the palace before returning to the princess's residence. No sooner had I reached the gate than a maid rushed to report. She announced that the side courtyard where Luo Lin and the others were detained had erupted in chaos. Having risen early for court and dressed in cumbersome regalia, I felt weary after such a long ordeal. Hearing this news stirred a wave of irritation within me, yet I still made my way toward the side courtyard. No sooner had I reached the courtyard entrance than I heard Lady Luo Qin's resonant voice. "What of the princess's command?" "I am the princess's mother-in-law. The emperor in the palace is, at best, the son of heaven, and at worst, my own in-law. Do you dare lay a hand on me? Now my son is injured, and you refuse to summon a physician. This is murdering an official of the court. Can you bear the weight of such a crime? After she finished, moans of pain from Luo Lin and the sniffles of Lin Xiaoxiao could be heard from inside. From the doorway, I watched as Lady Luo Qin finished speaking. My personal guards stood by, cold-faced and sword-ready, ignoring her entirely. This only enraged Lady Luo Qin further. She unleashed a torrent of abuse directed at me, her words vile and vicious. Finally, she spat, "That poisonous woman. I'll have my son divorce her. Then, as a discarded woman, I'll see how arrogant she still is." I heard every word. The next moment, I pushed open the door with a cold laugh. "Who are you calling a whore?" Seeing me, Lady Luo Qin, who had been cursing furiously moments before, froze as if she'd seen a ghost. Terrified, she collapsed instantly. I scanned the desolate courtyard. Luo Lin lay on a tattered mat inside the house, his face deathly pale, sweat pouring down his forehead from the pain. Lin Xiaoxiao was wiping his sweat when she saw Lady Luo collapse. She rushed over to help her up. I settled into the armchair Jean you had brought me. With a flick of my wrist, my guards seized Lin Xiaoxiao. Jean Yu stepped forward without hesitation, bound Luo Qinshi, stuffed a gag into her mouth, and hung her from a tree. She then drew the long whip coiled around her waist, poised to lash at Lady Luo suspended in midair. If she refuses to live comfortably, I have plenty of ways to deal with her. But before Jean Yu's whip could fall, Lin Xiaoxiao knelt before me with a thud. "Princess, you mustn't. The old lady is your mother-in-law. How can you treat her this way? A few lashes might cost her life. If punishment must be given, then Xiao Xiao will take her place." Lin Xiaoxiao bit her lip, her eyes reddening. I tilted my head, calmly observing her expression. Interesting. The comments streamed by rapidly. Fake act. Lin Xiaoxiao's specialty is these sly little tricks. After becoming the official wife in the original story, she framed the princess with her innocent-looking schemes, causing her to suffer much torment from Lady Luo Qin and Luo Lin. Guess she miscalculated. Doesn't she know they secretly call her Smiling Yama of Zhaoyang or Venomous Flower? Never seen anyone beg for a beating like this. Show time. Grab popcorn and soda, front row seats. Heh heh. The comments truly know me. Since Lin Xiaoxiao craves punishment, how could I deny her pleasure? Otherwise, I'd seem unreasonable and heartless. Smiling at Lin Xiaoxiao, I waved my hand. Guards, hang Miss Lin up for beating too. My men immediately selected the thickest ropes, binding Lin Xiaoxiao so tightly she couldn't move a limb. They hoisted her even higher than Lady Luo Qin. Jinyu lashed out with both hands, the whip cracking loudly. The courtyard was quite the spectacle. Hearing this gratifying sound lifted my spirits somewhat. Inside the room, Luo Lin lay sprawled like a dead dog. Seeing the scene, he struggled to rise, but after failing, he erupted in impotent rage. "You venomous woman. If you've got the guts, take it out on me. What kind of nonsense is bullying them? If you're so brave, kill me. It's a pity you found out too soon. Otherwise, I'd have loved to see the reaction of the lofty Princess Zhaoyang when she learned she'd been spending her nights in the arms of a lowly servant. You bitch! You poisonous woman!" Suddenly, I recalled the storybook's account. In my final year, as death approached, Lin Xiaoxiao deliberately revealed that the servant had taken Luo Lin's place in consummating our marriage, then viciously mocked and humiliated me. Unable to bear the shock, I went mad on the spot, tearing at my own hair until I ripped out a chunk of scalp. In the end, I lingered on my deathbed amidst endless mental torment, dying with bitter resentment. I narrowed my eyes, staring at Luo Lin. I knew exactly what he was up to. Knowing his own days were numbered, he deliberately provoked me, hoping to divert all my fury onto himself. He wanted to save the lives of Lady Luo Qin and Lin Xiaoxiao. Too bad he didn't know me well enough. I am a person with a dark heart and ruthless hands, who never forgets a slight. And conveniently, I was born into royalty, possessing a little power and a little wealth. I immediately sent someone to Nanfeng Pavilion to select several burly, well-built men. I summoned them to the mansion to thoroughly pamper Luo Lin. I also brought Luo Lin, Lady Luo Qin, and Lin Xiaoxiao's personal attendants to watch. Jinyu poured me a cup of tea. I sipped lightly and smiled. Luo Lin, this princess is quite curious to see your reaction. What will you do when you witness your lawful wife, your own mother, and your personal attendants being defiled before your very eyes? Terror and guilt flashed in the eyes of Luo Lin and his two companions. I remained calm and composed. Stop pretending. If you think you can scheme against this princess, it depends on whether you have the fortune to live to see it. With that, my expression turned cold. I waved my hand, signaling the start. Instantly, the courtyard erupted in chaos. Luo Lin's screams, piercing like a slaughtered pig, mingled with Lady Luo Qing's wails and Lin Zhaozhao's choked sobs. Luo Lin's back and buttocks were already beaten to a bloody pulp. I had him treated with the finest wound medicine to keep him alive, and within a day, the wounds had scabbed over. Now those scabs were ripped open again, instantly turning the straw mat into a scene of utter horror. I pinched my nose in disgust. The comments flooded in rapidly. Ha 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 ha, even that bastard Luo Lin gets his comeuppance. Perfect. This princess really knows how to handle things, she even milked our readers' glands dry. So satisfying. I told you our princess party was well fed. Tired yet, you brat? Let me step in for a couple chapters. Reading the comments, I let a slight smile touch my lips, feeling quite pleased. I rose to my feet, ready to retire for the night. I was genuinely exhausted. But then, Luo Lin suddenly screamed with venom, "Zhao Yang, you'll regret this. If any one of us three dies, I'll make sure everyone else goes down with us." My footsteps halted, and I furrowed my brow slightly. Luo Lin's words most likely referred to the plague. The plague in the storybook was indeed suspicious. Though my heart raced, I kept my composure and feigned a challenge. What are you hoping for? Did you plan to use the plague to make Luo Tong save you? Well, your hopes will be dashed. I knew the name of Luo Lin's child. Hearing this, Luo Lin's voice abruptly stopped. At that moment, Lin Zhaozhao finally managed to spit out the rag from her mouth after struggling for a long time. Princess, Tonger is still young. Whatever mistakes were made, they were ours. Please spare him. He's just a child, innocent. My gaze swept back and forth between them, confirming my suspicions even more. I paid them no mind, turned and left the courtyard, instructing someone to report this matter to the emperor. A chill gripped my heart. An innocent child? If memory serves, the storybooks recounted a plague ravaging the capital's outskirts. Entire villages nearby were wiped out. When all seemed lost, Luo Tong appeared like a savior, presenting a formula that halted the epidemic. In the end, the capital's people hailed him as a child prodigy. Was it worth sacrificing so many lives just to legitimize his return and secure his and Lin Zhaozhao's positions? How could they speak of innocent children? Utterly absurd, utterly heartless. Within 2 days, word came from father, Luo Tong had been found. Alongside him was a ragged wandering Taoist priest, caught in the act of poisoning a village well on the outskirts of the capital. Imperial physicians confirmed the poison could cause illness, its symptoms mimicking the plague. What Luo Tong possessed was merely the antidote. Fortunately, the emperor had deployed strict security, preventing the people from falling victim to the poison. Father summoned his closest ministers to the palace for counsel. To my surprise, upon hearing the news, Minister Wang knelt before the imperial study, pleading for Luo Lin's mercy. He claimed Luo Lin had merely been bewitched into plotting against the princess, and that the suburban villagers remained unharmed. He begged father to show leniency toward Luo Lin and spare his life. If so, he vowed to resign his post and retire to his hometown. I laughed upon hearing this and ordered the bloodied and mangled Luo Lin carried into the palace. When I arrived, Minister Wang had removed his official cap and knelt rigidly upon the stone slabs. The eunuch behind him announced the princess's arrival, but Minister Wang did not turn his head, stubbornness etched upon his face. I truly could not fathom what Minister Wang stood to gain. Could it be that Luo Lin had saved his life? Until the comments streamed in, the male lead's final stubbornness under the protagonist's aura. Even now, Minister Wang still protects him. This bond is forced. I admire Minister Wang's audacity. Enough. Minister Wang's life matters too. Then it clicked, this must be the special power the author bestowed upon Luo Lin. That won't do. I strode before Minister Wang and ordered my men to fling the barely living Luo Lin at his feet. As flesh and blood spilled with a pungent stench, Minister Wang recoiled, his eyes brimming with shock and fury. I chuckled softly. Minister Wang, His Majesty is a wise ruler who cherishes his ministers. But this princess is not. You know full well that plotting against a princess is a crime punishable by the execution of 9 generations. Yet you still plead for Luo Lin. Could it be you were his accomplice? Or do you share some secret connection? If so, this princess has her own methods. Perhaps the Wang family would like to witness them? Minister Wang stared at me for a long moment before finally deflating. He knew I always meant what I said, and that I was ruthless. He still had a wife, daughters, and family. He couldn't afford to be stubborn any longer. Seeing Minister Wang like this, I smiled with satisfaction. In the end, Luo Lin was sentenced to Ling Qi. The others, Lin Zhaozhao, Lady Luo Qin, and Luo Tong, received 80 strokes of the cane and were exiled to Lingnan, barred from ever returning to the capital. Minister Wang requested retirement, withdrawing from court affairs to live out his days far from the capital's strife. When the news reached the princess's residence, I was swinging in the garden. 80 lashes would leave them crippled if not dead. And with summer approaching, the heat would only make their wounds fester. Forced to walk the entire exile route on foot, their lives were forfeit. They would suffer far more torment than a simple beheading. But what did any of this matter to me? When they plotted against me, trying to drive me to my death, did they ever imagine this outcome? Had I not been ruthless with them, I would have ended up like the tales in the storybooks, drained of blood, devoured, humiliated to death. Jinyu brought some melons and fruits. After eating them, my mood lifted considerably. The comment stream before me still flowed. Wonderful! Thrilling from start to finish, finally a story where the protagonist isn't just a doormat. This is the kind of story my esteemed Sweet Selection membership deserves. I smiled, my gaze sweeping over the lush greenery and vibrant blossoms. Surrounded by splendid servants and beautiful maids, caressed by white clouds and gentle breezes, unmatched in wealth and pleasure, how utterly delightful and joyous. This is the life a princess should live. The end.